Stevens gonna give. I think he could beat Devin Haney.
He's more emotional. That could bode well more.
Whittaker his roll with the punch as well, so now Mike
started to fight back. And hand by Pee Wee.
By Chavez. Cortez has continued.
Joe Cortez is losing control of this.
Right in the top of the cranium. It's not an illegal shot, and it hurts like a good, solid balance.
I think Pernell Whittaker is discovering that.
Pernell Whittaker has been
trimmed with black, weighing 132 pounds.
Back when I was 13 years old.
So that would be 14 years ago.
Yep, exactly.
What do you remember yet? That's his plan.
And the final round.
This one's scheduled for 6. Giepert now fiddling with the nose as he tries to get the blood flow to stop. And Mayweather comes back with right.
If I take Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime,
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
I don't know, but it'd be tough.
What makes Floyd the best, so unique, something that we have not seen?
His defense and his instincts. I think Floyd had the best defense in boxing history.
Better than Sweet Pea?
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet Pea had defense, but he ain't that offense like Floyd.
Sweet Pea was better at slipping punches, making you miss.
Right.
But Floyd on defense, like catch, bam, 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 where Floyd master, hit and not get hit.
The only man to beat Floyd Mayweather might have been Pernell Whittaker. Who wins this time machine matchup? Money Mayweather's patented shoulder roll defense has its own volume in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Floyd dodged bombs using elastic waist movement while staying in the pocket like 35 cents. Also picking off shots with his glove and shoulder. Mayweather sported laser scope punch accuracy and was super efficient with a connect percentage that would make Pythagoras proud. However, many credit Pernell as the greatest defender to ever lace him up. Sweet Pea originated slick phone booth defense. Whittaker had a spring in his waist, but also used his mitts to block more shots than Mutombo. The Virginia native's offensive game was stacked like IHOP. He used smooth as buttercream movement, with foot speed that could beat the Roadrunner to a desired position. Whittaker twirled dudes like he's on Dancing with the Stars, spinning them around like a dreidel. Pernell wasn't known for landing powerful headshots, but he went to the breadbasket heavy, like he was a Pepperidge Farm shareholder. Whittaker and Mayweather both rocked Albert Einstein caliber boxing IQs and Freddy Krueger level mean streaks. They both also sported Rolex precision timing and the reservoir gas tank of a Hummer. Pretty Boy hit harder, but Pernell had that superior footwork that would make Gregory Hines jealous. Would Whittaker's agility and defense have been the kryptonite to Mayweather and resulted in his only loss? Tell me in the comments.
This is Johnny Boy Boxing with Fight Hype. I'm here with legendary trainer Ronnie Shields. How you feeling?
Feeling great, man.
And I got to ask you, my favorite fighter, Pernell Whittaker, you trained him. I asked you earlier outside about it. How did those sparring sessions go with Floyd Mayweather? Was Floyd holding back like he did with Frankie Randall? Or because he had so much admiration for Pernell Whittaker, did he really, give it his all?
Well, I did give it his all.
Yeah.
But Pernell Whittaker is Pernell Whittaker.
Exactly.
He was the best fighter then. And, Floyd held his own. Don't get me wrong. Floyd did some great work with Pernell Whittaker. But, Pernell, he sparred other guys before he got in the ring with Floyd. All the time. So, it wasn't about who was the best fighter. The work was really great for Pernell and for Floyd.
Absolutely. Do you think Pernell was holding back a little bit?
Both of them are good boxers. I think that
one southpaw, one's orthodox.
Basically, they kind of fight the same, bro. Devin is bigger. He got a bigger frame. He is bigger. Shakur is smaller. But one is southpaw, one is orthodox, and I think that's
slicker. You said Shakur slicker.
Shakur is a little more slicker. Shakur is a little more slicker. Yeah, I think he's a little more. Shakur, I think I saw Oscar compare Floyd and Pernell Whittaker, right? He fought two of the best defensive fighters ever, but he said he said that Pernell was, he could stand in front of you and make you miss. Floyd was more feet, right? He'll make you miss with his feet. He'll get out the way and stuff like that. I feel like that's the same thing with Shakur and Devin. Devin is going to get out the way from his feet a lot. You know, he has fast feet. He has good and fast feet, so he'll get out the way with his feet. Shakur will stand right in front of you and make a miss. So that's like, for me, I think that's a little different.
Okay. So you got Pernell Whittaker being Shakur, and you
Pernell
got
Whittaker be yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pernell being Shakur and Whittaker being Floyd. Yeah. Basically.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say that, but let's just I won't you
Hypothetically
can't
speaking,
compare. Yeah, hypothetically speaking, you can say it like that. You know, like it's like a prime Pernell versus a prime Floyd. Who will win? Who knows? We don't know, right? I heard they
mm,
fought before when there was, when Pernell was a little old and stuff like that, and Floyd was young. So who knows? But for me,
I gotta talk to Zab about that one.
talk to Zab. Yeah, talk to Zab about it. I'm pretty sure. I would think Zab will probably pick Pernell because Zab came up under Pernell. He fought Floyd and he came
Right.
up under Pernell. So I would think he will pick Pernell. For me, it's a hard one to pick, but I would pick Pernell also.
What's good, Just Do family? It's your boy KB, aka the Clip King, back to get boxing is just do. Man, and if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Do your boy solid. Smash that like button, turn that bell icon on, hype the video, and let's build, man. Let's get to it. So Regis Prograis did an interview with Mill City. Shout out to him, a little while ago. And he gave his thoughts on, this highly discussed future potential matchup between Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. We all know Devin Haney is at 147 pounds. He just beat Brian Norman back in November. Still undefeated at the top of his game, 3-division champion, former undisputed. Y'all know the accolades. And we know Shakur Stevenson, the reigning WBC 135-pound lightweight champion. He'll be challenging Teofimo for his belts January 31st. But in the meantime, in between time, it's been a heavy discussion about, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney potentially fighting, especially since Shakur, he spoke about a rehydration clause and he caught a lot of backlash for it, because he was previously on record criticizing Tank for doing rehydration clauses and things like that. So, you know how the internet do. They don't let you live, man. They ain't let them live that down. And I understand it to a degree, but Regis gave his thoughts on the potential fight between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Now, we know Shakur sparred Regis on multiple occasions, and we know Regis fought Devin Haney and got 12-zip, dropped, and beat up pretty good. And he gave his thoughts, man, and he said, Shakur and Devin is like a prime Floyd versus a prime Pernell. And my question to the fight fan out there, man, who's the prime Floyd and who's the prime Pernell out of the two? Regis did lean towards Shakur Stevenson out of the two being slightly more slicker, and he edged him to win the fight if they fought. He did highlight how Devin is a big guy, much bigger frame, but nonetheless, they fight similar. They do have similarities to their game, but I think Shakur has a higher pedigree because of the Olympic silver medalist and all that, traveling the world, being the best fighter in the world, being one of the best fighters in the world. And, Devin Haney had a much different route. Nothing wrong with the route that he took, but I just think, the Olympics put Shakur in a position to, he's gained valuable experience in them Olympics that you just can't pick up in the typical amateur ranks or heading over to Mexico, if you understand what I'm saying. If you know, you know. But very interesting topic, man. Regis gave some honest opinions, and, a lot of people compare, Shakur to Floyd to a degree when it comes to defense. Floyd himself even called Shakur Stevenson little TBE. Devin Haney has been on record for comparing himself to Floyd, and Regis made a great point. Floyd to use the legs, get out of the way, and Shakur with the upper body movement and things like that, making you miss, man. I mean, they both have some eerie similarities to these fighters, man. But like I said, who's the prime Floyd and who's the prime Pernell? But I like the fact that this conversation is heating up. We all know ever since they got the 147, they being Team Hanos, the Hanos clan, they've been real loud, man. They've been calling for the smoke, and they've been calling for everybody, and I love it. I like the fact that Devin Haney's name is being thrown in the hat with other world-class, top-level fighters because he's one himself. And I think there's some more big fights out there for him to make. And I don't know, man. He's at 47. Shakur inching his way up to 40. You never know, man. Maybe they could meet in the middle, or maybe they can maybe Shakur do the one off and go up there and challenge Devin Haney at 147 pounds. You just never know. But despite the size that Devin Haney has over him, I truly believe that, skills pay the bills. Styles win fights. I feel like Shakur is the smarter fighter, slightly more slicker, just considerably better defense, like Regis said. And he can use his legs as well. I think he has more tools in the offensive bag. That's just my opinion. His combination punching is very high in the sport of boxing. The plus-minus ratio. He fights, like I said, a more mistake-free fight. You get me? And Devin Haney makes mistakes that I think a guy with the IQ of Shakur Stevenson would pick up. You get what I'm saying? Even Devin Haney is on record for speaking about Shakur Stevenson's IQ. Take a listen to the clip.
I think that Stevenson is going to be victorious, unanimous decision. I think he's just too smart. He has too much ring IQ, and I've been knowing him for a while, so I came up, being around him and seeing his skills, and so I think he'll be victorious.
Mouth from Devin the Dream Haney, man. Shakur Stevenson, he picked him in one of his fights to win by UD. Too much IQ, too smart, and he said he knew him for a long time, which is true, man. They've been going back and forth. As y'all seen in the clips, they had viral sparring. They had sparring that went viral, man. So this fight is always going to be talked about. The more these guys continue to win and rack up the accolades, man, the more hate that these two receive, I think the more they continue to separate themselves from the rest of their contemporaries, man. Love it or hate it, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney are two of the most talented fighters in boxing, two of the most accomplished fighters in boxing. And they're both chasing greatness, man. And I know a lot of people that, like I said, are haters of theirs, just don't want to admit it, but the truth is the truth, man. I can't wait to see what the future holds. I truly hope there's a way that this fight can happen. And, of course, with no rehydration clause, because I think Shakur is special enough, generational talent, where he don't need a rehydration clause. Even though I understand why he's saying it, being how big Devin Haney is. But, nah, Shakur, you're great. Go show it. And I hope that time comes in the near future. But in the meantime, we got to see him get through Teofimo Lopez, who is not going to be an easy fight, January 31st. True 50-50 fight. Shakur needs his A++ game, because anything less than that, you could fall short against a guy like Teofimo, who's known to raise his level each and every time he's in there with somebody that you expect to beat him. The last time he was a 3-1 underdog, it was against Lomachenko, and he won. Will history repeat itself? We don't know, but we're going to find out January 31st. But that's my thoughts. Get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this, man. Who's the prime Floyd? Who's the prime Pernell? And who y'all got winning if this fight happens in the future at 147 or whatever weight? And as always, let me know if I gave boxing a just due, because that's what I do over here, Just Do Boxing. Till the next one, I'm out. Peace.